We are right on the edge of a massive shift in technology. For decades, software has just been a passive thing. It sits there and waits for us to tell it what to do. But now, we're stepping into the age of AI agents, and this isn't just some minor update. It's a complete reimagining of what software can even be.
And this, right here, is the core idea. Just imagine software that doesn't need you to click a button or type a specific command. Instead, it gets your ultimate goal, and then it just figures out the steps to get there, all on its own. Now that is a total game changer.
So let's break it down. It's all about passive versus active. For years, we've used passive tools. Think about a calculator. You tell it 2 plus 2, and it spits out 4. Super useful, but it does absolutely nothing until you give it that exact instruction. An active agent, though, totally different. You could tell it, hey, plan my team's offsite event, and it would actually start researching places, checking everyone's calendars, maybe even drafting an itinerary. It takes initiative.
Okay, so in a field that's changing practically every single week, how on earth is anyone supposed to keep up? Well, the secret isn't chasing the latest shiny tool or framework. It's about really mastering the fundamental principles of how these agents actually work.
This statement right here, it just hits the nail on the head. It's a critical philosophy for anyone in this space. I mean, the libraries and frameworks that are popular today, they might be totally obsolete by next year. But the core architecture, the logic behind how an agent thinks and acts, that knowledge is timeless. It's powerful. And here's why that really matters. When you get the principles, you're not locked into one company's ecosystem. You can debug problems on a much deeper level because you actually know what's happening under the hood. Your skills become totally independent of any single library, which makes your expertise truly future-proof. You're learning the why, not just the latest what.
And it's clear this principle's first idea is really taking off. Across the entire industry, we're seeing this huge surge of interest. Tens of thousands of developers are choosing to focus on these foundational concepts. That tells you there's a massive demand for a deeper understanding that goes way beyond just using some pre-built tool.
And the feedback from people who are diving deep into these principles, it's overwhelmingly positive. I mean, the data shows that well over 90% of developers who take this foundational approach find it super effective. So this isn't just some passing trend. It's a method that delivers real, practical results.
Right. And it's not about abstract theory. The general feeling is that understanding how agents work is the absolute key to building them efficiently. This knowledge really transforms you from someone who just uses AI into someone who creates with it.
So how does an agent think? Let's peel back the layers and take a look at the actual architecture. It's actually surprisingly simple and pretty elegant.
So, deep down, at the core of every intelligent agent, there's this really simple but powerful architecture. And we can break it down into 4 key parts, which you can remember with the acronym GAME.
Okay, let's walk through it. First up, G is for goal. Every agent has to start with an ultimate objective. What is it trying to do? Second, A is for actions. These are the tools in its toolbox, things like searching the web, writing code, or pinging a database. Third, M is for memory. It needs to remember what it's done, what worked, what didn't, so it can learn from its mistakes and successes. And finally, E is for environment. This is the world it operates in, whether that's your computer's file system or a complex API out on the web.
Now these 4 parts don't just sit there. They power a continuous cycle that we call the agent loop. The agent looks at its goal, picks the best action, sees what happens in the environment, and then updates its memory. And it just repeats this loop over and over, getting a little smarter and a little closer to the goal with every single cycle. This is basically the thinking engine of an AI agent.
All right, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's talk about the practical, production-ready tools that people are building with these exact principles right now.
We're talking about agents that can intelligently dig through all your files, automatically generate software documentation, which is amazing, and even help you write, test, and produce your own code. These things can use external tools, connect to APIs, and automate workflows that used to take a human hours of manual, tedious work. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is what's possible today.
And learning to build these systems gives you some incredibly valuable skills. You're not just learning to code. You're learning things like prompt engineering, how to prototype really complex systems, and how to get agents to interact with real-world tools. These are the skills that are going to define the next generation of software development.
So where does this all leave us? What does it all mean? Well, we're not just talking about a new kind of app. We are literally witnessing the next major leap in what software is and, more importantly, what it can do for us. So here's the big takeaway. The real power here isn't just in using AI tools that somebody else built. The future belongs to the people who can understand these core principles and build their own intelligent systems, agents that are designed to solve their unique problems and act as true partners in their work.
And that leaves us with one last really fascinating thought. As these agents get better and better at building, testing, and even improving software all by themselves, the fundamental question starts to change. It's no longer just about what they can build. It's about what we will choose to create with them.